Number 3, create profiles. Okay, manage fields and manage profiles. The fields are the individual building blocks of the profiles. So I'll talk about how to create the fields and then from those fields to create the profiles. So let's review a little bit from our standard user training. Profiles are unique identifiers. It's metadata. So an example of a unique identifier, let's say we're looking at the 50 states in the United States of America, and we want to find just one of them, the state of Utah. So this identifies uniquely the state of Utah within our country. If I want to narrow that search to, let's say, a zip code, I can type in a zip code and narrow that search. It's a unique identifier to that geographical area. Another unique identifier that we all use is addresses. So if I put them all together, there is a physical address to the office building we work in. Another example is a social security number. They uniquely identify us individually to the government. Now here's Elvis Presley's social security number. Notice at the bottom right, they were never sold to us for that purpose of identification. Boy, have things changed. Okay, so where are profiles located within our software? You can see there in the center pane at the bottom. That's where you'll find where the profiles are located. And I've logged in as an administrator in this example. And as you look to the right there at the top, you can see where you would actually create and manage the fields and then create and manage the profiles from those fields. So let's get into the software and let me show you how you do this. Okay, I've logged into eFile Cabinet as James Wilson, a user with admin responsibilities and permissions. You can see here they are. And we will be spending time in a moment in Manage Fields and Manage Profiles. But first, I want to come over to the Human Resource Cabinet. I'm going to left click on it and then I'm going to right click on it, make it one of my cabinets. So now it's down here by its lonesome. And you can see here are all my pretend employees. And I want to bring up Paula Taylor. So I'm just going to search for Taylor and bring up her drawer. And so I'm going to open up her drawer and look into her folders here. And first go to the photo folder, and there is a JPEG of Paula. I want to show you that I've created a profile for photos. Okay, I'm going to come up to Social Security card folder. There is Paula's Social Security card. I have a Social Security profile. I'm going to go up to the I-9 folder, click on her I-9. Notice I have a profile for I-9s. And as I click here, I can edit this, and you can see in the drop down here, I have the different possibility of what the I-9 asks for. A citizen of the United States, a non-citizen natural of the United States, and so forth. Also, I have the ability to put a date in here very, very quickly. Let me go to her resume folder. Notice a resume, a couple of them here. And I have a resume profile. Resume name, date received, date interviewed, date hired. Okay, I'm going to come back up here and look at all of the drawers again. I'm going to go down to James Wilson's drawer. Notice I have a profile for the employee. James Wilson, the company, the job title. I can come and edit that profile very easily. You can see I have a drop down for job titles. I have a lot of different job titles for this company. Very easy to just fill out the appropriate one by clicking on it. Here are different departments that I've created. The same thing applies. I have a calendar here for date hired and a drop down for status active or terminated. And then another calendar for termination date. I can also change this to a different profile. You can see I have a lot of different profiles, probably more than you need. I just teach in a lot of different industries. Okay, so how do I create these? You have two icons up here. Manage the fields. Let's go there first. These are the building blocks to creating the profiles, the individual items. These are text items. They're number items. There are, as you can see, a lot of text items here. The dates, you can see a list. So here are the different things that I've listed. Employee is one of them. If I want to edit, I simply come and click on edit. And there are the different employees in this pretend company. So how would I create a new item? Very simply, I come and add. So what kind of item is it? Is it a customer ID number? Is it a social security number? Is it a zip code? Okay, then you can decide, is it a text? Is it a number? Is it a date? Just by clicking date here, that creates the executable that allows that calendar to come flying out that you saw. Is it a list? And this is where you would populate the different choices. Okay. Is it a percentage item? Is it currency? Is it hidden text? Now, where might you use this? Well, perhaps with a credit card. So once you create your items, your building blocks, now you're ready to create your profiles. Also, this little asterisk here. What that is if you want to make this item required field so that when the person's filling out the profile field, they must put something in there. Okay, so let's go over to the next icon, manage the profiles. So here you can see all the different profiles that I have. Let's go down to the employee profile that we were just in. Full name, company, job title, phone number, department, list. Remember I showed you all the choices in the department, all the different job titles? This is the actual profile that I created that then I applied that you saw earlier. This is the employee profile. So these are the individual items here. I can always add and subtract. So if I want to put something else in here, I click on it, left click the arrow, it brings it over here, and I can change the priority of it by either bringing it up or down. And if I don't want it anymore, I can delete it. And so creating a new profile is as simple as coming up here and say new profile. You name that profile, and then you start choosing the building blocks, the individual items that you want to make up that profile. Now I'm just doing this randomly. There's no logic to what I'm pulling in here. And again, I have a lot more profile items than you'll ever need. And so then I can name it. I can change the location up and down of the items. I can save it. And then I would have another profile to choose from. Again, I have a lot more profiles than you probably have to worry about. Now, one of the profiles I want to talk about is my client profile. Okay, in my client profile, you'll see full name, company name, phone number, email, physical address. Now remember that because later on, when I go to the CSV document and pull information off of that, the headers of that CSV document are going to match exactly with these items in here. So up here in the upper left-hand corner, again, new profiles. You can edit profiles here. That's one way of doing it, or you can click on it, double left click, it opens up a profile. If you need to edit it, you can delete, you can refresh. You can import, export. What does that mean? If someone likes this profile, I can export it to my desktop and send it to them. They can import it without having to build it. You can move profiles back and forth that easily. Fields, you can open up the fields while you're in the profile area. So going back to Administration tab, these are the fields. I can go there individually, or under the Profile tab, I can come here and pull up the fields while I'm in the profile. Also, while I'm in a profile, I can create a new field on the fly, or I can edit a profile item while I'm here. So, that is profiling. And profiling is very important to help you find things and also in the workflow. If you're creating a workflow, profiling is very important. You need to understand profiling before you get into creating a workflow. And in the standard user training, I showed you the importance of profiling and how you can search for different items using profiling. All right. We shall move forward.